we have a young rider from Victoria, BC, Evan Carey, sprinter participating in the team sprint. Evan, what does it feel to compete in Toronto on a home soil with two outstanding sprinters beside you?
It feels almost surreal to be competing on home soil in the new Milton Pan Am Velodrome. It's I can only imagine what game day will feel like when there's a home crowd, a sea of red and white cheering us on.
You're a young track cyclist. Tell us about the last couple of years for you, the last 3-4 years for you, and then how you saw the Olympics and started to decide to pick up the sport.
The last 3 or 4 years for me have been full of a lot of change. That's probably the best way to put it. From a year ago, if you had asked me if I would be sitting at this table, I would have said most likely not. So a lot of things have changed, and it's much for the better.
Next to Evan is Hugo Barrette. Hugo Barrette is a sprinter from Le Cap de la Madeleine, the Magdalena Island. Probably the first athlete from that region to race at a major games like this. Hugo, what does it feel to coming out of a very, very small hometown to come out and race against the world?
Well, coming from a little island, you know, I had to dream big to make it out of there, I guess. I was the only one doing cycling over there, and hopefully I can inspire people up north, I guess, and about the feeling. I mean, it's just the best. We're just all excited to race in front of the families, in front of friends, and in front of our country. So it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I hope we're gonna do our best come the day of racing.
Hugo, you raced that track in Milton at the Canadian Championships, and you took the jersey as national champion. What does that feel? What does that feel to be the national champion racing here?
For sure, gives me a lot of confidence coming in. You know, we had a lot of big opponents like just St. Philip from Trinidad, finished fourth at the Olympics, that I managed to win. It was a big boost and just a prelude to what was to come to racing. So I'm more prepared as far as how the facility is going to be set up, and how just to set myself in the environment, and hopefully that's going to give me an edge over my opponents.
Thank you. Next to Hugo is Joseph Veloce, also known as Joe Veloce. Joe is from Fonthill, Ontario, about 40 minutes away from the Velodrome. So how does that feel to race really at home in front of your fans in that Velodrome?
Like everyone said, it really is a special experience. For me, it's really almost in my backyard, half hour away from where I live currently. So the amount of family and friends I'm going to have present is going to be incredible for me to compete in front of, obviously them, they're all local, so they'll be there watching, but in front of all the other locals from Milton and from Ontario and Canada who are going to be cheering for us. It's going to be really, really special.
Joe, you competed at the Olympics in London. Tell us about the 3 years from 2012 to here, and tell us about your progression and your training plan.
Yeah, after the Olympics I had a bit of an injury which set me back a bit, but I finally feel like I'm getting back up to form. Back in January at the Milton and National Championships were very successful events, so I think finally I'm back up to form, and I'm looking for good results here at Pan Am's.
My last question, are you getting enough sleep with the newborn, the new baby at home?
Yeah, my wife's been great. She's taking the night shift, so could definitely get enough sleep.
Thank you. Next is Sean McKinnon, sitting beside Joe. Sean, tell us about your introduction to the men's team endurance program. Tell us about that transition to the team.
Yeah, this is my, I guess, sort of like I've been part of the program for around 18 months, so I'm still pretty new to the whole track racing thing, but it's been super fun, and the team pursuit is one of my favorite things to do on the bike, so I'm super excited to compete so close to home at my first big games.
Sean, you're also going to be racing the time trial on the road. How are you preparing differently, knowing that you're going to have multi-events here at these games?
The team pursuit is definitely my first and foremost priority, so I'm just kind of taking it one event at a time, and once we get this weekend out of the way, then I'll start thinking about the next 2 events coming up.
Thank you. Next to Sean needs no introduction, Ed Veal. Ed Veal has been a racer for Canada for a number of years. I believe was at the Commonwealth Games last year. Ed, you're also from Ontario, right here in your backyard. You got a massive fan base in the region. Tell us about what it will mean for you if it's going to be more special.
Yeah, from Toronto, born and raised. This massive fan base is constantly asking for tickets, and hopefully they can come out in full force and cheer me on. I've seen a lot of the Pan volunteers and a lot of the people, friendly faces and stuff like that. It's like, once again, like everybody says, a dream come true, and I've had many pinch me moments. Can't believe this is happening.
The 4 guys beside you are significantly younger. I'm not going to disclose your age, but do you take a leadership role in the team and sharing your multi-years of experience and transferring that to these young cyclists that are ready to roar?
Absolutely. I have quite a bit of life experience that these guys don't have. A lot of my leadership happens off the bike. It's not on the bike, but the truth is, Remy's actually our leader on the track, and these guys are pushing me as much as I could push them. So we're all kind of learning from each other.
Thank you. Next to Ed is Eric Johnson from Calgary, Alberta. Eric has won medals, I believe, at Junior Worlds, or has really good results at Junior Worlds a few years ago. So another young rider coming up the ranks. Tell us about your introduction to the men's team endurance program.
The men's team pursuit program has been a really good transition for me, where I was running. I felt I was a little more on the sprint side of things as a junior, but coming through into this program, thanks to the leadership with Ian, has been huge for us, huge for Canada, and huge for the the development side of things too. Seeing what's happening with the junior program in Canada, and then there's 3 of us here who are 20 and younger, right? And there's more behind the scenes who are same age or younger. So honestly, the team pursuit program has been huge for us. Sport Canada for the younger guys has been huge because being a new program, the men's team pursuit definitely doesn't have the same kind of funding opportunities as the very successful women's program. So for the younger guys, cash flow is definitely something that we get helped for by Sport Canada. So thank you to them.
Thank you very much. Next is Adam Jamieson, also from Ontario. Adam, tell us about the team chemistry. You guys have been racing quite a bit on the road in some European projects over the last couple of years. Tell us about how the team gelled together and to become a stronger team on the track.
Yeah, I'm pretty new to the team. I came from the junior track program last year, and coming through there, it took a bit of time to really mesh with the program and stuff like that, to get to know the guys better and stuff like that, and to actually be able to step up into the elite ranks. And we actually have a really great program now called Next Gen U23, and because of that, I actually got to travel to Europe and stuff like that, do some really big races, get some really great training in, some opportunities that didn't actually previously exist. So with all that, I think I've got some really great training in my legs and stuff like that. I feel better than I've ever been before. Everybody's going great, so I'm really excited for the next week.
Thank you very much. Next is Rémi Peltier from Quebec City. Rémi will have a pretty busy week as well with the Omnium, in addition to the endurance program and the road later on. Rémi, you were in Guadalajara as well. You performed well as well. Tell us about your preparation the last 3-4 years leading up to eventually Rio.
I think in Guadalajara, I was more going there as a spectator. I was racing, but it was my first big games and just getting all the experience. And after that, it's been kind of up and down. Was in the mix for the 2012 Olympics, so it was kind of more on the road for that time. And when I came back about 18 months ago, with all that new program, all these new guys, I think there's been a new energy for our team. I've never seen so much endurance men riders, and for as much from an individual perspective, has been such a good training environment, and to be able to work with these guys and see how they can improve within such a small time span has been really encouraging. So I think we can look forward the next few days.
You were part of kind of the initial plan for that endurance program. Tell us, so you've witnessed it all from scratch. Tell us about how that program came about and recruiting these fabulous team members beside you.
Yeah, I mean, it was a real nice way it was made. Maybe 18 months ago, it was big trials in Los Angeles. Whoever wanted to come try could. So we had about 20 guys coming down there, and a selection was made. And from there, we've been training together as a team, and then racing as a team, mostly living almost together. And it's the first time really I see a program that bonded together. So I think if we go back a year ago, where we chat and I a couple days ago, and it's been so much development, and we can see different faces. But I think now we have a pretty deep, and we can have a lot of different alignment to race on the race day. But I think yeah, now it's a really good setup.
The men's endurance program is every World Cup is gaining time, is getting closer and closer, is narrowing the gap. Tell us about the future and what the next 12 to 16 months will be for the team.
I think every race we kind of proves ourselves different things, and what I see now is that we can rely on each other. Everyone has their own strength, but I think now we can really believe in each other. And I think every day we step on the track and we see improvement. And I think the next World Cup cycle is going to be pretty interesting to see, because if we do the same progress that we did last year, I think we're going to be pretty much up there quickly.
Thank you very much. Next is Ian Melvin, the coach of the men's endurance program. Ian, you're working with these 5 gentlemen here, preparing them for the Toronto Games. Tell us about the team cohesion right now and your expectations for the race.
Yeah, look, like a few of the boys have said, 18 months ago this program was really just in its infancy coming together. These guys have spent a huge amount of time together. They live in each other's pockets. They get sent around the world multiple times every year. These boys, you know, the girls liken themselves to sisters. These boys are like brothers. And the more time they spend together, the more time they understand each other and what they're bringing to each performance. So the bond between these guys right now is quite remarkable. The trust, the confidence is growing month by month, and we're seeing it within the consistency of their performance now.
Both endurance program, men and women, do a lot of road as well, road races and road training. Tell us about this crossover between road cycling and track cycling and how it improves riders on the track.
Yeah, it's not so much a crossover gear. It's just really it's laying down the foundations on which we can then load the guys with the specificity that's demanded for the track work. We can't replicate the same volume, the same stresses on the endurance side just through training. So. And you know, for a lot of these boys, they all have ambitions. You know, ask most of these guys, and they all want to go and ride the Tour de France, like most of the male endurance riders, and that's a long-term ambition. So right now, they have absolute commitment to give everything that they have got for Canada in the Pan Am Games and moving forward on the track. But I know for several of the boys, they have long-term ambitions on the road, and through opportunities that we can provide them, which both provides current development, we're also giving them an opportunity to show the rest of the world what they have for the future.
Perfect, thank you. We'll now open questions on the floor. Again, same process. If you want to raise your hand with the microphone, tell who you are and who the question is addressed to. Anybody want to take a leap of faith? Mr. Connolly, thank you.
Ian, what are your expectations for your team here at the Games? There's a big question.
We expect medals, to be perfectly honest. There's tough competition for us here. Colombia, especially Argentina, in the men's team pursuit, the Venezuelans and Chileans, they can pull something out of the bag. We can finish anywhere from first place to fifth place, depending on what everybody else comes with. But I can tell you right now that the training that we're beginning to see and the performances we're beginning to see from these boys, they're going to be very competitive. So our expectation, it's not my expectation, but our expectation is that we're going to be knocking on the door for medals. And I firmly believe that whichever, I've got 5 boys here, but only 4 can start in any round of the competition. And whoever we put on the track at any given point, they're going to give their absolute best. And we believe they're going to be competitive.
Any other questions? Peter, you want to step it up?
Hugo, you also had some good results in T-Town, setting a personal best, I seem to recall. How's your form? And the second part of the question, who do you think your real competition is going to be at the Games?
Well, first of all, yeah, I'm in the shape of my life, I think, thanks to Aaron Hartwell and the incredible sprint program. I mean, we're on the rise, and now with the new facility in Milton, it's just been a game changer, and I can feel it. I've been doing my best, kind of alone in Los Angeles to perform at the best level I can, but it's just not the same. It's completely different, and it's a way better environment. And I think that yes, we'll see big changes at these Pan Am Games, but there's a lot more to come on the horizon. And as far as my commission, it's pretty easy. There's Ersoni Calanon from Venezuela, a guy who does World Cup podium often. Fabian Puerta from Colombia, same thing. He took on almost every medal possible this year. Had a big crash at the World Championship, so we don't know how he's going to show up. Except that Jasaint Phillip from Trinidad and Tobago and Matt Aronofsky from USA. So pretty, that's pretty much it. You get maybe 6 guys, and all chasing for the same medal, and it's a gold. So we'll do our best to beat them.
Thanks.